The rain had stopped, but the smell of wet earth still lingered in the air outside the outpost where the human ship had landed. It was quiet, too quiet for the Outer Rim station. Miles from any known colony, Ethan stood near the large viewport, staring into the shifting blue mist that rolled beyond the magnetic barrier. He did not expect to see her again, not after what happened on New Rhea. 3 years ago, Haria remembered the glow in her eyes, the strange silver shade that never blinked like a human. And yet she had looked at him with something soft, something that had made him forget she was not one of them. She was not even from his world. She was from the Ilaria race once feared across the sector for their mind fire and silence he had met. Her during the last days of the war, she was an enemy, then captured in the fall of the crystal moons. He never understood why she had saved his life instead of ending it, but that night when she stood before him in the ruined hall, she had whispered his name with a tremor that did not belong to a soldier. Her name was Claire. She had taken it after the war, when she stayed on a small world under human disguise, trying to live quietly among the people she once fought against. On it when she stepped through the door of the outpost, he froze. She looked almost human again, her dark hair tied back, the faint silver lines on her neck hidden by a collar of cloth. She looked straight into his eyes, and the air between them seemed to hum with the same strange pull he had felt years ago. Said nothing, just stared at him until the words he had buried broke free. "You should not be here, Claire. They will find you," he said, in a low voice. She smiled a little, a sad human smile. "They already have, Ethan," she said, her voice trembling. "The Ilari Council knows where I am, and they sent hunters." He saw the fear in her eyes, and something colder behind it. She was not only running, she was protecting something. "What did you do?" he asked, though his voice had no anger, only the ache of old memory. She came closer until the scent of her hair reached him, soft and faint like dust and rain. "I took something from them," she whispered. "It can end everything they are building. It can stop the silence weapon. I could not let them use it again, not after what they did to your colonifer." A long pause, he said. "You brought it here." She nodded. "I hid it on your ship before they came looking. I knew you would not hand me over." He wanted to deny it, wanted to tell her she was wrong, but her eyes caught him again, those strange eyes, half human, half starfire, and he knew she was right. Outpost lights flickered once the sensors began to beep. Someone was coming. She turned toward the door, her fingers brushed against his hand for a moment, and the cold of her skin made his heart jump. She looked at him and said, "If I fall, you must take it back to Earth." "Promise me, Ethan," he whispered. "I cannot lose you again." But she only smiled, the kind of smile that hides a storm. Door burst open. 2 armored figures stepped in, their helmets gleaming with Ilari runes. Claire moved first, faster than his eyes could follow. Light burst from her palms, striking one of the soldiers, who fell without a sound. The other raised his weapon, but Ethan fired before he could react. The pulse hit true. The room went silent again, except for their heavy breathing. Show looked at him, the glow fading from her hands. "You still shoot straight," she said. He tried to smile, but it felt wrong. "Come with me, we can escape through the service tunnels." She nodded, and they ran together through the narrow corridor, past blinking lights and humming pipes. The air grew warmer the deeper they went, until the tunnel opened into a hidden dock where his small freighter waited. The boarded fast. She moved like a shadow, sliding into the co-pilot's seat. He started the engines, but before they lifted off the outpost, sirens screamed again. More hunters were closing in. The ship rose, shaking under fire. He gritted his teeth and pushed the thrusters. The stars blurred into streaks as they broke through the mist and into open void. For a while there was silence, only the hum of engines and her slow breathing beside him. She turned to look at him again and said, "You should not have helped me, Ethan. They will hunt you too." He glanced at her, her face half lit by the console glow. "I know, but I could not let them take you." She leaned back, her expression softening for the first time since she arrived. Then she reached into her jacket and pulled out a small crystal that pulsed faintly like a heart. "Bethis is what they wanted," she said. "It holds the memory of the silence weapon, its code, its pain. If they get it again, they will burn every mind in the galaxy. I thought humans could keep it safe." She placed it on the dashboard between them, and for a long moment, they just stared at the slow pulse of light. It cast across their face, Suddenly, the ship shook a warning flash. They had been tracked. She looked at him, calm but sad. "I can hold them off for a while," she said. He grabbed her arm. "No, you will not do this again. We face it together." She smiled again, that same human smile, but her eyes glowed brighter now, the light within her skin spreading. Like fire, she touched his cheek and said, "You once told me that humans never stop fighting. Now I know." With next moment she was gone, her body turning into pure light that filled the cabin like dawn. He shouted her name, but the sound was lost in the roar of energy outside the ship. The pursuing vessels vanished in white flame, and then everything went dark when he woke. The ship was drifting near the edge of a dying star. The crystal still pulsed on the console. He reached out and touched it gently. It was warm, like her skin had been, and as it pulsed, he heard her voice inside his mind, soft and distant. "Do not grieve, Ethan. I am part of the light now, and as long as you keep the flame safe, I am not." Ghana sat there, staring into the endless glow beyond the viewport, the night around him still vast and silent, but something inside him had changed forever. She had looked into his eyes one last time and turned the darkness into light.